Very good afternoon, children. Today we are going to continue with the sound lesson again. Yes, yesterday we have discussed some basic points about this. Yes, how the sound. What is sound actually? Sound is a form of energy that causes sensation of hearing. Yes, sound is a form of energy. The name itself telling that it is a form of energy. And yesterday we have studied one question. Sound has energy? Yes, that is the question yesterday we have. Does sound have energy is the question yesterday we have studied. Yes, the definition itself telling sound is a form of energy that causes sensation of hearing. Yes, safely said to be sound cannot be produced without vibrating object. If there is a vibrating object, then only we can get sound. And also we needed a medium that may be air, water or solid. And yesterday only I told you in a solid sound will travel with more speed. Yes, the speed of sound in vacuum is zero meters per second. That also I told you. The speed of sound in vacuum 0 meters per second. Is it correct, Nana? Yes, speed of sound in vacuum 0. Vacuum means there is no matter. Empty space, and also we removed air from that. That space is called vacuum. There is no water, no solid, no liquid, no gas, anything. Air also we need to remove. So that one is called as vacuum. In vacuum, speed of sound is 0 meters per second. And speed of sound always depends on the properties of the medium. According to sound, the medium gas, liquid and solid. Gas is the slower medium for sound. Liquid medium is faster for sound, and solid fastest medium for sound. Fastest medium. And we know that sound produced by continuous vibrations, and the range of audible range is human ear audible range is 20 to 20,000 hertz. Yes, and sound can travel through air or another medium. It can travel, and it will reach us to the person's or animal's ear. Sound produced continuously vibrations. Continuous vibrations of objects will give different sounds. The audible range of human ear is 20 to 20,000 hertz, Nana. And while coming to this, I want to tell you now, before 20 hertz, dani infrasound antar, Nana. Below 20 hertz, we are calling as infrasound. Above 20,000 hertz, ultrasound waves. Those are called as ultrasound waves. And also I told you about longitudinal and transverse waves at that time. Yes, longitudinal waves in one direction only, like this, compressions and rarefractions. దగ్గరగా ఫామ్ అయ్యాయి అనుకోండి వేవ్స్, దోస్ ఆర్ కాల్డ్ as vibrations or waves. వైబ్రేషన్స్ దగ్గరగా ఉంటే దట్ ఈస్ కంప్రెషన్. పల్చగా ఉన్నాయనుకోండి దట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ as rarefraction. సో లైట్ ఆల్వేస్ ఇన్ ద కేస్ ఆఫ్ గ్యాసెస్ అండ్ లిక్విడ్స్ లో వచ్చేసి లైట్ మనకి లాంగిట్యూడినల్ వేవ్స్ ఫామ్ చేస్తుంది నాన్న. లాంగిట్యూడినల్. ట్రాన్స్వర్స్ వేవ్స్ అంటే లైక్ దిస్, ఇలా ఉంటాయి ట్రాన్స్వర్స్ వేవ్స్. ట్రాన్స్వర్స్ వేవ్స్ అనేవి ఇలా ఉంటాయి. సో హైట్ ఆఫ్ ద పీక్ లైక్ దిస్. సో నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ వైబ్రేషన్స్ పర్ సెకండ్ వచ్చేసి ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీ అంటాం మనం. సౌండ్ మనకి యాంప్లిట్యూడ్ అంటే ఏంటి, ఇది హైట్ నానా. అయితే సౌండ్ లౌడ్నెస్, స్లోనెస్, మనం మ్యూజికల్ ఇన్స్ట్రుమెంట్స్ గురించి డిస్కస్ చేసాం కదా. డిఫరెంట్ మ్యూజికల్ ఇన్స్ట్రుమెంట్స్ విల్ గివ్ డిఫరెంట్ సౌండ్స్. అండ్ సమ్ సౌండ్స్ ఆర్ లౌడర్ అండ్ సమ్ ఆర్ స్లో సౌండ్స్ విల్ గెట్. లౌడర్ కాకుండా చిన్నగా వస్తాయి కదా. వై? బికాస్ ఈ వేరియేషన్ అనేది ఎందుకు వస్తుందంటే యాంప్లిట్యూడ్, ఈ హైట్ ఆఫ్ ద పీక్ ఏదైతే ఉందో, హైట్ ఆఫ్ ద పీక్ వైబ్రేషన్ హైట్ ని యాంప్లిట్యూడ్ అంటారు. నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ వైబ్రేషన్స్ పర్ సెకండ్ ని ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీ అంటారు. అకార్డింగ్ టు దట్ ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీ అండ్ అకార్డింగ్ టు ద వైబ్రేషన్స్, number of vibrations per second, and according to the height of the peak, that is amplitude. According to that we can conclude that the speed of the sound we can decide, and also the loudness and softness of the sound also we can find by that. We can observe. సో ఈ వేరియేషన్ ఆఫ్ ద సౌండ్ లౌడర్ గా డల్ గా ఎందుకు వస్తుంది కొన్నిసార్లు? వై? బికాస్ మీన్స్ హియర్ we are getting that one. We can understand like that. Yes, by amplitude And by number of vibrations per second, frequency ఎక్కువ ఉంది అనుకోండి సౌండ్ లౌడ్ గా వస్తుంది. విత్ యాంప్లిట్యూడ్ కూడా ఎక్కువ ఉండాలి ఎట్ ద సేమ్ టైం. హై యాంప్లిట్యూడ్ అండ్ హై ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీ ఉన్నప్పుడు లౌడర్ సౌండ్స్ వస్తాయి మనకు. ఎస్, ఇస్ ఇట్ ఓకే? Vibrate, yes, only vibrating body only produces sound. Only vibrating bodies can produce sound. Vibration lekapothe, there is no vibration of objects, there is no sound. And one more question answer they have given children. All vibrating bodies produce sound or not? Yes, only the vibrating bodies which are having amplitude and frequency higher than human high can able to listen ఆ రేంజ్ లో ఉన్నాయనుకోండి amplitude and vibration, at that time all objects which are vibrating can produce sound. Yes, Yogendra, you can ask now. Yes, we know that sound is a form of energy that causes sensation of hearing, and also due to the sound waves consisting of areas high and low pressure called compressions and high and low pressures. Yes, and when will the sound waves, yes, sound waves అని చెప్తున్నాం. sound waves are longitudinal and transverse kada. Two types of sound waves we are discussing. I think you are getting a doubt here. When longitudinal teacher, when transverse. మరి transverse waves ఎప్పుడు ఫామ్ అవుతాయి, ఇలా ఎప్పుడు ఫామ్ అవుతాయి, ఇలా ఎప్పుడు ఫామ్ అవుతాయి sound waves? So that I think you got a doubt. Yes, ఎప్పుడు ఫామ్ అవుతాయంటే in the case of sound through liquids and gases as medium, through this medium sound will passes, at that time longitudinal waves ఫామ్ అవుతాయి నాన్న. through solid sound waves will form, at that time it will be like that transverse wave, okay, which is perpendicular to the propagation of plane wave like this. Yes, this is called as trough and crest like this. And the height of this peak, the height of the peak is called as here amplitude. And compressions and rarefractions అంటున్నాను కదా, ఎక్కడైతే థిక్ కంప్రెషన్స్ ఫామ్ అవుతాయో, థిక్ వైబ్రేషన్స్ దగ్గరికి వస్తాయో, దట్ ఈస్ కంప్రెషన్. అండ్ వెరీ లాంగర్ దాన్ దిస్, పల్చగా వచ్చినాయి కదా, దిస్ ఈజ్ కాల్డ్ as rarefraction. compression, rarefraction. ఓకే, నేను కొడతాను లెవెల్ గో. Yes, these are compressions and these are rarefractions. Longitudinal waves in the case of liquids and gases. In the case of solids, transverse waves will form. I think you got this. Yogendra, is it okay? Yes. And here some questions they have given. Do you hear any sound? All vibrating objects here they have given. Yes. Without vibrating objects there is no sound. With vibration of objects and a medium, through medium only you will get sounds. Yes, here some examples they have given about vibrating objects. These all are about vibrating objects. We can observe vibrations also. Yes, here sound has energy. This is one experiment. Yes, sound has energy. By this experiment we can conclude. By a player inside we are taking this box and we are covering it with a diaphragm of balloon. Yes, and cover it with any string or any rubber band. Then afterwards place some sand particles on the top of that diaphragm. Then because of this sound the sand particles will move. While playing only it will move. Without playing song it cannot move. The particles cannot move. These cannot move. That's why we can conclude that sound has energy.
See children, here all the instruments are based on the phenomena resonance. So actually resonance came from the Latin word which means that resound. So actually it occurs when an object vibrates in response to sound waves of certain frequencies. It occurs when an object vibrates in response to sound waves of certain frequencies. According to the certain different frequencies it will respond, then only the resound will come. According to this phenomena actually the amplitude, that means the height of the peak, that occurs when the frequency of a periodically applied force is equal to the natural frequency. We are applying some periodical forces. We are applying some periodical forces to the natural frequency. Actually, the air is moving in certain pattern, certain wave pattern. So we are applying certain frequency on that, certain extra force on that. By applying that actual air movement, we are applying another frequency to that, we can get resound from that. So based on this phenomena only, the musical instruments will made.
Yes. Here one question they have given children. Does every vibrating body produce sound or not? If the amplitude of the vibration are large enough, then only natural frequency within the human frequency range. At that time only we will get sound from that vibrating body. Only the vibrating bodies which are having amplitude large enough. Then only the wave should have amplitude large enough. Then only that vibrating body can produce sound. Until that range, there is no sound from the vibrating body. But every sound is by vibrating object only. Without vibrating object, there is no sound. So from these experiments also we can conclude, from these all examples we can conclude, without vibrating body there is no sound. Only vibrating bodies can produce sound. But the vibrating bodies which are having the range, natural frequency range, which are having the frequency in natural audible range, then only we can get sounds from that. I think you got that two questions. And next, sound have energy. Yes, sound is the movement of energy through substances, longitudinal waves. Sound is the movement of waves. So there is a force exerted by that. Force causes, due to that vibrating object, a force causes on the medium. A force causes on the medium. Yes, sound waves are traveling from one place to another place through medium. So at that time, due to that vibrations, force will causes. So due to that, the energy transferred from substances, through substances from one place to another place as wave. So sound has energy. By this experiment, we can conclude that. In textbook, we have one experiment. So we can conclude that sound has energy. And coming to the musical instruments, whatever we have discussed yesterday. Yes, musical instruments. Different musical instruments will give different sounds. Why? Because of this difference will occur. Why harmonium giving different sound? What are the parts involved in making sound? Different parts are involved in that. For example, tabla. Yes, that upper part, membrane part, diaphragm of the tabla, and air. Because of that only we are getting different sounds. Vibrating that membranes only we are getting. Vibrating on, beating on that membrane will get sound. Yes? Yes, children? Yes. And coming to the violin having strings. Yes? Strings and threads they are having. Guitar also having that. Stretching strings. And veena also having string. Yes? Because of that string movement only we are getting string vibration only we are getting sound from that. Piano. Yes, soundboard is there for piano. For harmonium also metal reeds and air reservoir. These are all the parts involved in making sound, involved in vibrating object. These are all the parts involved in that. Yes? And flute, Nana, flute, air motion in a column. Because of that column, air motion only we are getting flute sound. And what is the difference between flute and a tap? While we are opened the tap, at that time, water will come and it will throws that air out. At that time, that whistle sound, some whistle sound will get at that time. Yes? What is the difference between this column sound of the flute and tap water sound, tap opened sound? So what is the difference? There is the rhythmic. Yes, rhythmic column. On that column we have air spaces on the top of the flute like this. Air opens. Yes, because of that openings we are getting a rhythmic flute sound. And while coming to the column of the tap, there are no openings, no rhythmic, only continuous sound will come out. Continuous movement of waves through air. Through air they will come out. Yes, like that we'll get a sound from the tap. I think you got different paths are involved in the case of musical instruments. Because of that, amplitude and frequency variation is there. Due to that variations only, we are getting different music sounds from that different instruments. I think you got this all. So is it clear, Nana?